Hello students, welcome to the session. Today we will discuss about a few questions in circles and straight lines which are from the previous papers of the JEE advanced. Okay. So, let us get into the session. So, the first question here says that for how many values of p. So, what are the values, like one value or two value, three values, like we will find out what values those are. The circle x square plus y square plus 2x plus 4y minus p. So, this is the equation of a circle, right. X square, y square, 2fx and 2gy plus c is equal to 0 is the equation of a circle. So, this is the equation of the circle given to us, and the coordinate axes have exactly 3 common points. So, the given condition here is the circle should have exactly 3 common points with the coordinate axis, like when the coordinate axes are there and the circle should have 3 common points. So, what can be the possibilities? Like the possibilities can be, it can pass through the center, right, it can pass through the center intersecting x axis and y axis. Now, if you see how many common points we have, center is the axis and the intercept y intercept is one common point, and I mean the y intercept, x intercept and y intercept are the common points. So, here we have 3 common points with the coordinate axis. So, this is one case. So, is it the only one case or anything else? So, let us see, like there can be I think it can touch x axis, and my diagram is like little bit bad, but it might touch the circle might touch x axis and can intersect y axis, or it can touch y axis and intersect x axis. So, there can be a common point here. So, here also you will have 3 common points, here also you will have 3 common points. So, these are the 3 possibilities where we can have 3 common points, exactly 3 common points, not more than 3, exactly 3 common points with the coordinate axis. So, let us now try to find out like the chances, the possibilities, like are these 3 possibilities are there for this or not, is what we are going to check. Okay, guys. So, let us see. So, the first case is when, as we discussed, the circle is passing through the origin and cutting the y axis and also the x axis. So, let us see what happens if the circle is passing through this. Like, what is the equation of the circle? The equation of circle is x square plus y square plus 2x plus 4y minus p, right. And if it is passing through the origin, the values here x and y values will become 0, all these values go 0. So, what will you get? The value of p to be 0, that is one possible value, right. So, I get the value of p to be 0, and my equation here is, the circle's equation becomes that, because the value of p becomes 0, the equation of the circle is x plus 1 whole square plus y plus 2 whole square is equal to 5. How did we do that? Is like completing squares, like you complete the squares using these two. So, x square plus 2x plus 1 minus 1, y square plus 4y plus 4 and minus 4. So, minus 1 and minus 4 will be equal to minus 5, which you send to the other side to make it a standard form of a equation of a circle, right. We did not do anything there, it is just completing the squares, right. So, this is one case possible, clear. And what did we get here? The center is at minus 1 comma minus 2 and the radius is 5, clear. So, this is one possibility. Next, what is the next possibility here? It is touching the x axis and intersecting y axis at 3 different points, here and here. This is a possibility. So, in this case, what happens here is the circle's equation is given to us, right, and I am trying to complete the squares. As in the previous case, I completed the squares like x plus 1 whole square plus y plus 2 whole square. We added 5 and subtracted 5, so that 5 is taken to the other side. So, the radius becomes root of p plus 5 whole square, that is p plus 5, right. Now, if you look at the diagram, when it, since it is touching the x axis here, the radius there should be equal to 2, because this distance from here, it is minus 2, right. You are coming from the origin up to minus 2, that means the distance here from this point of contact, like where it is touching the x axis, the distance from there to the center is 2, which is nothing but the radius, correct. So, here what is my radius now? P plus 5 whole square, which is equal to 2 square, means I am equating the radius in both the cases, like from my equation and from the diagram, whatever I have got, I am equating those two, right. So, what am I getting here? P is equal to minus 1. This is one more possible case. So far we got two cases. One is where the circle is passing through the center, right, and touching, I mean intersecting both the axes, where we have x intercept and y intercept, right. Now, here it is cutting the y axis, but touching the x axis, and here also we got a chance, and here p is equal to minus 1, and here we got p is equal to 0. Two values we got, right guys. Next case, we discussed about three cases, right. What is the third case here? It is intersecting x axis and touching y axis. Okay, let me show it to you. So, this will be the case if it is touching y axis and it has to intersect x axis. Is that possible? If I am touching y axis, what would be my radius there? Minus 1. But this point here is at a distance of minus 2. That means, this cannot touch, even it cannot even touch x axis, not intersect, it cannot even touch x axis. So, this case is not possible here, because here the radius is minus 1, because the distance from the x axis to the center is minus 1. So, your circle got reduced, and so this is not a possible case, understand. So, what did we get here? So, we have only two cases where the possible values are there, like only exactly three common points with axis for this circle. They are p is equal to 0 and p is equal to minus 1, when one case is when it is passing through the origin and cutting the two axes, and the other case is when it is touching x axis and intersecting y axis, and whereas the third case fails, because its radius is much smaller than the distance from the x axis. The center's distance from the x axis is much more bigger than the radius of the circle. So, this is not a possible case, understand guys, right. Let us go to our next question. The second question says, for A greater than B greater than C. So, see here he has given a comparison here, the values A is bigger than B and B is bigger than C, and all these values are greater than 0. So, there are no negative values. If the distance between the points, so he has given a point 1 comma 1 and the point of intersection of the two lines. So, AX plus BY plus C and Bx plus Ay plus C is equal to 0. These are the two lines given to us and their intersection. So, the distance between 1 comma 1 means this is mostly to the lines here, right. We are talking about lines now, there is no circle in this. So, 1 comma 1 is a point given to us, and there are two lines given to us whose intersection point is the distance between this point and the point of intersection. Say suppose this point of intersection I take as some x comma y. The distance between those two is less than 2 root 2. If the distance between those 2 points is less than 2 root 2, then which condition will be true? Is it this, or is it this, or is it this, or is it this, is what he is asking. Means A plus B minus C is greater than 0, or A minus B plus C is less than 0, A minus B plus C greater than 0, and A plus B minus C less than 0. So, which of these conditions hold good is what he is asking, right. So, what should we do now? Tell, like we are given a point and he said the intersection of two lines, right. So, basically what we can do, we can first find the intersection of these two lines, and then maybe we can try to find out the distance between the 2 points, the intersection point we will find, and then the distance we will find, and then maybe we will compare it with this, like using a less than symbol, less than comparison, right. So, let us see. So, find the point of intersection of the two given lines by using multiplying with the quotients, equating the quotients, we call it as elimination method, whatever you call, multiplying this with b and this with a. If you do, this is simple simultaneous equations, guys. I do not think I need to explain it in much detail, but just I will walk you through in brisk pace. So, I am multiplying this with b and the second equation with a, and when I subtract, I get b square minus a square times y, b square minus a square times y equal plus bc. Okay, let me write here, b square minus a square times y, that will be equal to, if I subtract this here, what am I getting here, bc minus ac, but I am sending it to the other side of the equation. So, that becomes ac minus bc, right. So, y will be equal to, if I take c common, this is a minus b by minus, if I take common, it is a square minus b square, or if I take here minus common, it is b minus a, and then this will be b plus a times b minus a, and then we are left with c by b plus a, minus c by b plus a. This is the minus sign here, right. So, minus c by a plus b or b plus a, whatever it is, because addition is commutative. So, the y value is minus c by a plus b. We are trying to find the point of intersection of the two lines, okay. And then similarly, you do the same type of operation and you get the value of x also as minus c by a plus b. So, this is the point of intersection of the two lines. Now, what do we know? We know that the distance is less than 2 root 2. So, what am I doing is I am trying to find the square of the distance directly, because you find it and then apply the square, whatever, it is the same thing, right. So, distance formula, applying simple distance formula, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, I get this equation, like 1 plus, why is it plus? Because I have a minus sign here, and why is it plus here? Since I have a minus sign here, right. So, this value should be less than or equal to my 2 root 2 whole square, which is nothing but 8. So, this is the equation, inequation, I mean, this is the inequation we have. What is it? 1 plus c by a plus b whole square plus 1 plus c by a plus b whole square, that is 2 times 1 plus c by a plus b whole square is less than 8. So, what happens here, if you take LCM, right, this is 1, right. So, a plus b plus c by a plus b whole square is less than 8 into a plus b whole square. Guys, you should remember something here, okay. So, what am I doing here? I am doing a plus b plus c by a plus b whole square, and the second into 2 is twice, 2 times, right. Now, this is less than 8, and we are simply multiplying a plus b whole square onto the other side. Okay, I can divide with 2 nicely without any hesitation. I can say it is less than 4, that I can clearly say, but I do not know the values of a and b, right. Why can't we do, if see why I am saying that I can clearly do this, because I know that 2 is positive, there is, it is not a negative number, and there is no problems with the symbol, right. If it is a negative number, the symbol changes, but how are we doing with the a plus b whole square, even though we have no idea about the values? It is very simple, since we are, it is given to us that a and b are positive, we can directly do even if it is not whole square, right. But it is whole square, that means its value is always going to be positive. That is the reason, without any hesitation, we are just multiplying this a plus b whole square with 8 without trying to change the symbol, the less than. Understand guys, you have to keep in your mind, like when we are trying to multiply some number on in an inequation from one side to the other side, you should keep in your mind that it should not be negative. Understand, you should have a clear idea whether the number is positive or negative before doing that calculation, else your calculations will go wrong guys. Okay, please make a note of this point, right. So that is the reason I am just multiplying it onto the other side and I have no issues with that. So what happened here, now I have got a plus b plus c whole square is less than 4 times a plus b whole square. Now what can I write this? This 4 I can send inside, because 4 2 square is 4. So this can be simply written as a plus b plus c whole square is less than 2a plus 2b whole square. Why are we writing that? Now I bring that to the left hand side. Now my equation is inequation is in the form of a square minus b square. So a square minus b square can be written as a plus b into a minus b. I do that a minus b and a plus b. So I get minus a, because a minus 2a is minus a minus b plus c times 3a plus 3b plus c is less than 0. Now the product is less than 0, right. When the product of two numbers is negative, at one of the numbers, only one of the numbers must be negative, not two. Both of them are negative, then it is going to be positive, right. So either this should be negative or this should be negative, but it is given to us that a, b, c, all the three numbers are positive. That means there is no chance that this is going to be a negative number, that is always a positive number, right. So what are we left with? The only option for us is minus a minus b plus c is less than 0. That is the only option we have, because the other one is always positive, that we know from the given information in the question, right guys. I think you are following. Okay. Now what are we trying to do is we are trying to just multiply with a minus sign to say it is greater than 0, because why are we doing this is you have to come back and check your options. In all the cases a is positive, right. All these cases may you have a is positive. So when you are left with a minus sign, so you try to change it into positive a to compare your solutions given, or the answers or multiple choice options given to you, right. So when I do that, I get a plus b minus c is greater than 0, because you are multiplying with a minus sign, the symbol changes, So we got a plus b minus c is greater than 0. So a plus b minus c is greater than 0. So option A is the correct answer. Understand guys? I hope you understand. Keep in your mind when you are solving any questions related to inequations, to check for the sign of the quantity which you are trying to cross multiply, or maybe you are trying to divide on both sides of the inequation. If you are not sure of the numbers sign, like if you are not sure whether the number you are going to or the quantity you are going to divide or multiply on both sides, that it will be a negative or a positive, then do not try to do that division or multiplication in equations. In equations you can always do, right. Okay. Let us go to the next question now. Okay. Yeah. The locus of midpoint of the chord of contact of tangents drawn from points lying on the straight line 4x minus 5y is equal to 20 to a circle x square plus y square is equal to 9 is what? So he is asking us to find the locus of the midpoint of the chord of contact. Say suppose there is a circle. So this is the chord. Okay, chord of contact is like when you have tangents touching the circle at those points, right. And where are these tangents coming from? Like from a point, and that point is lying on a line which is 4x minus 5y is equal to 20. Okay. So this point P is somewhere on this line, and this is the chord of contact we say, and the equation of the circle is given as x square plus y square is equal to 9. So, that is the equation of the circle given to us. So, we know that the chord of contact, say suppose this point is some k and s p and q something. So, if I say this point is some s comma t, then what will be the equation of this chord of contact? We know, right, s into x plus t into y is equal to 9. That will be the equation of chord of contact, like the point should be substituted in that, right, we know that. So, now let us get into the question. Let us see how we can find out the locus. Locus is nothing but the path in which the midpoint. So, there is a midpoint on this chord somewhere. So, this point, the path of that midpoint you have to find, means if you are moving this chord that way or this way, the point also moves this way or that way. That is the path of the locus of that midpoint. Okay, right. So, let us get into the solution. So, what am I trying to do is I am taking this point on the line. This is the line given to us, right. This is the line given to us. On that line I am taking alpha as the x coordinate of the point. If alpha is x coordinate of the point, what will be my y coordinate? So, I have 4 alpha minus 5y is equal to 20. From this, like if you make y as the subject, you get the y coordinate as 4 alpha minus 20 by 5. That simple simple transformation, right, like you transpose that 5y to the other side and bring the 20 this side, you do that. So, now this is our point. What is the point? Alpha comma 4 alpha minus 20 by 5, right. So, then what will be the equation of this chord of contact? The chord of contact will be, this is the equation of circle, right. So, alpha into x plus 4 alpha minus 20 by 5 times y is equal to 9. That would be the equation of chord of contact. Okay. So, let us see now. So, this is the equation of my chord of contact. Yeah, you can take so that is the equation of our chord of contact. Now, what do we know? We are given that the midpoint is there is a midpoint on the chord of contact. So, this is the midpoint. So, h comma k also lies on the chord of contact. So, and that is the midpoint. So, when this is the midpoint, what is the equation of the chord of contact? When you know the midpoint of a line, then the equation of that line is given by hx plus ky equals to h square plus k square. That you can do by taking 2 points. That is a long derivation, but you can do it by taking the derivation. Say this is if I take this one as h1, then you find the value of y by substituting in the equation of the circle, right, because whatever this a and b are the points which satisfy the equation of the circle. And then you doing simple algebra, you will end up getting like hx times ky is equal to h square plus k square as a relation, which is nothing but the equation of the chord of contact, right. Now, what happened, you see, this is the equation of the chord of the contact and this is also the equation of the chord of the contact. These two are different, means they are not different, they are the same line, but they are in a different form. These two are the coinciding lines, you can say, right. Since these two are the coinciding lines, we know that the the ratio of the coefficients is always equal, means the x coefficient the x coefficients ratio is alpha by h, and the y coefficients ratio is 4 alpha minus 20 by 5 by k is equal to the constant, the ratio of the constants. When two lines are coincident, we know that a1 by a2 is equal b1 by b2 is equal c1 by c2. That is what we have taken here, right. On simplification, like if you equate independently alpha by h to 9 by h square plus k square, and then this one to this, you will, on doing simple algebra, you end up getting this equation. Not doing that, it is simple, like you have to isolate alpha in both the cases, like you take alpha by h is equal to 9 by h square plus k square, you take that and you isolate alpha, and here also you take that and isolate alpha and equate those two and simplify, you get to this. What did we get finally is 20 times h square plus k square plus 45k is equal to 36h. So, h and k is nothing but a fixed point, is a fixed point on this chord. It is a midpoint of a chord, the chord of contact AB. But if I move this point up and down here, this chord will move forward and backward, and this point h also moves forward and backward. How will it move? Along this line. This is the locus. It may not be a line, it is also moving up and down. That is why it is a quadratic equation here, right. So, the locus of what did we get the locus as? 20 times x square plus y square minus 36x plus 45y is equal to 0. So, which is the one here? 45 is option A is the right answer. Understand, guys? I hope you understand what we are doing. Okay. Let us get into the next question. The fourth question here, it says let S be the focus of the parabola, y square is equal to 8x. The equation of the parabola is y square is equal to 8x, and let PQ be the common chord of a circle. What is the circle here? X square plus y square minus 2x minus 4y is equal to 0, and the given parabola. So, this PQ is a common chord. PQ is a common chord to both the circle and the parabola, and he is asking us to find the area of the triangle PQS, area of the triangle PQS. Let us get into it. So, if you look at this, the parabola y square is equal to 8x, it is definitely passing through the origin, right. The parabola is like this, it is passing through the origin, y square, because there is no plus c or something, then the vertex might have moved up or down or right or left, and then it may or may it might not have passed through the origin, but here there is no option, like it is saying y square is equal to 8x and it is definitely passing through the origin. Okay. And also when you look at this equation, if you substitute x is equal to 0 and y is also equal to 0, what happens here? See, 0 square plus 0 square minus 2 times 0 minus 4 times 0 is 0. So, this entire thing is 0, right. Means what? The circle is also passing through origin, right. So, when there is a circle passing through the origin, right. So, origin is one of the common points, origin is one of the common points, and there might be one more common point here. That is what we are going to find out. How can we find that other common point? By equating the parabola and the circle. Come on, let us do it. So, how do we do that? X square plus y square minus 2x minus 4y is equal to 0 is the equation of the circle, and y square is equal to (8x), right. And then what is y? Y is equal to 2 into 2x, right. 8 ka square root is 2 root 2. So, that is the value. So, now we will substitute the y value and y square value in this, and you end up getting this equation, which is x square plus 6x minus 8 into root 2 x. Though it looks like a quadratic equation, it is not a polynomial here, right, because the power of root x, the third term, is not an integer. So, what are we trying to do here is we are trying to divide it by root of x throughout, like on both left and right hand sides here. This is an equation, so we need not worry whether we need not care about the sign of it, right. So, when I divide, I get this x power 3 by 2, because by root x is minus half 2 x power 2 minus 1 by 2, which is 3 by 2. So, that is simple subtractions, right. So, an x power half, and this is 8 root 2, like this is what we have, right, x square plus 6x minus 8 times root 2 x by root x. If you do, this one will be x power 3 by 2, because 2 minus 1 by 2, and this root x will go in this root x times. So, that becomes plus 6 root x, or 6 times x power half. Root x gets cancelled, and so you get minus 8 root 2. That is what you are going to get. Now, what are we trying to do here is I am placing t, I am replacing x power half with t. Then what will I get? T cube plus 60 minus 8 root 2 is equal to 0. This is a polynomial in the variable t. By using maybe a remainder theorem or factor theorem, you can say I substitute root 2 in it, and I get it to be 0, means t minus root 2 is a factor of that equation. When I look at this, see, that is what, like it is it should come like to your mind, like you should think in that direction. When there is a root 2 here, it is not possible to factorize, and it is a cubic polynomial first of all, right. So, generally how do we do it? By using remainder theorem or factor theorem. So, see what if you substitute, you are going to get 0. That is what we generally do, right, trial and error method we do. But when you look at this number, it should immediately strike your mind that okay, you need to substitute root 2 here, and you get 0. So, t minus root 2 is a factor, and t square plus root 2t plus 8 is another factor. The product of these two should be equal to 0. How do we get this one is you divide it, right, t minus root 2 you take, and you do the long division, you get it. Then this is not possible here, you do not have the roots existing there, because b square minus 4ac here is is negative. B square minus 4ac there is negative, because c is a bigger value, right, 4ac is 32 you get, right, and b square is just 2, 2 minus 32 is minus 30, which is imaginary. So, we are not going there. So, the only possible thing for us is t is equal to root 2. So, when t is equal to root 2, x power half is equal to root 2, then I square it on both sides. So, x is equal to 2, x is equal to 2, then you substitute the value there, y is equal to 4. So, that other common point here is 2 comma 4. So, one point, the common chord for these two, like common chord is what, where they both of them intersect, you can draw the common chord, right. The 2 points are 2 comma 4 and 0 comma 0. Now, what is the equation of the parabola? Y square is equal to 8x, and he said S is the focus. So, I am taking the focus to be a comma 0, right. Focus lies on because this is on the x axis, the focus lies on x axis there. So, a comma 0, and then since it is the focus, what do we have? 4a is equal to 8, and you can easily say the focus is 2 comma 0. So, the point here is 2 comma 0. Now, look at this carefully. This value here is 2 and this value here is 2. So, this line is definitely perpendicular to x axis, because this point did not change from here to here, the point did not change, right. Those 2 points did not change. So, this is always perpendicular to the x axis. That means what? We have this triangle as right angled triangle. The triangle here is a right angled triangle. So, simply you can say this distance here is how much? 2, right, and this distance here is how much? 4. So, what is area? Half into simply base into height, and that would be the answer for this question. So, the answer is 4 units. right guys, you understand? Yeah. Let us now see the next question. A straight line L through the point 3 comma minus 2 is inclined at an angle 60 degrees to this line. So, there is a line L passing through that 3 comma 2 is inclined at an angle 60 to this one. So, this is one line and this is, there is one more line L passing through this point, and these two are inclined at 60. The angle between those two lines is 60 degrees. We know, right, like angle between two lines is the tan rule, right. Yeah. If L also intersects the x axis, though this line L is intersecting x axis, then the equation of L is, so he is asking us to find the equation of L, right guys. Let us see. So, this is the equation given to us. So, what will be the slope of this one? Minus 1 by 3, right. Minus 1 by 3 is tan 120 degrees. So, the angle is 120 degrees there, right. So, this is the equation given and its angle is given by tan 120, tan 120. So, angle between two lines formula, we will take the angle between the two lines formula, slope 1 minus slope 2 by 1 plus slope 1 into slope 2, which is nothing but tan 60, because those two are inclined at 60 degrees. So, the slope of that is tan 60 is equal to m minus tan 120 by 1 plus m into tan 120, where m is the slope of our line L, right. Now, substituting the values and simplifying, like the root 3 is equal to this much and tan 120 is minus root 3. So, it is m plus root 3 by 1 minus m times root 3, because this is a negative value, this part is a negative value for us again. So, what happens here is root 3 is equal to m plus root 3 by 1 minus m root 3. Now, I am cross multiplying. So, I am taking it to be plus or minus, then m plus root 3 will be equal to plus or minus root 3 into 1 minus m root 3. So, plus or minus root 3 into 1 minus m root 3. So, what happens here, this should be either equal to positive value or a negative value of it, positive or negative value. So, when m plus root 3 is equal to root 3 into 1 minus m root 3, the only possible chance here is m must be equal to 0, right. If you simplify, solve it, you will get m is equal to 0, or if you substitute m is equal to 0 here directly, since I know the value, I have put it there, I have calculated it. You also can calculate by bringing m on one side, like making m as subject here. So, you do that and you get m as 0 or m is equal to root 3. So, these are the two cases, like the slope of that is either 0 or root 3. L passes through the point 3 comma 2 also, that is what is given to us, it passes through the point 3 comma 2 and we already know the slopes, right. So, the equation should be equal to what? Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So, which I substituted and I got this to be my equation here. If m is equal to 0, I simply get y is equal to minus 2. So, my equation, my line will be like this, I will have a minus 2 here. So, my line is passing through y is equal to minus 2, clear. And when m is equal to root 3, what will be the equation? This is the equation. If m is equal to root 3, the equation is y minus root 3x plus 2 plus 3 root 3 is the equation. You just substitute the value there. Now, what is given to us? It intersects x axis. Now, if you look at this, is this intersecting x axis anywhere? No, right, it is parallel to x axis and it is cutting y axis at minus 2. So, that is not the right answer. So, the only possible thing is m is equal to root 3, that is the correct answer, right guys. So, the equation here is y minus root 3x plus 2 plus 3 root 3. So, that should be the answer here, 2 plus 3 root 3. Understand guys? Let me know if you have any questions. Let me see if you have any doubts. One of you have asked, like, why did we substitute y value into the parabola, I think you are asking about this question, right, y value into the circle here, because see we have the circle and the parabola, these two have a common point. See, the circle is going like this and the parabola is going like this, and we are trying to find this point, the common point for both of them. That means whatever point is there on the circle is also there on the parabola. That means if you solve the two equations, you get this common point. That is the reason we substituted the value of y from the parabola into the equation of the circle. Understand? I hope that makes sense to you, because see, this is the point which is common for both circle and the parabola, right. It's common means what? That point is existing on whatever point it is. If y is equal to 8x, y square is equal to 8x, and some other equation is there. So, if I take x is equal to something, say suppose 5, and whatever value you get 40, and root 40 is a value on both this parabola and also the circle. That is the reason we have substituted the value of the parabola's y into the circle to make it into one equation and solve for the common point, to find the common point, right. Any two equations, if they have a common point, what do? We solve those two by equating them. Here also it is not actually substitution, we are equating them. We equated them. Y square is equal to 8x, means I am equating it. That is the reason instead of y square I am putting 8x. I am just equal, they are equal values, that is why we are replacing. Clear, guys? Let me see if you have any more questions. Okay. So, yeah, that's all for today from my side, guys. Okay, keep practicing the questions, right, and keep me posted with your doubts on the same YouTube channel. On that video, you can send your comments where I can come back with the explanations for your doubts. Okay, so we'll meet in another session with more interesting questions. Till then, keep learning.